So I'm very pleased to present this year's 2016 VWS graduation speaker, Julia Marciari-Alexander.
Wow, women really aren't allowed to cry, but Kate, your introduction brought tears to my eyes. It's an honor for me to have been introduced to you and for me to have had that conversation with you. I look forward to getting to know all of you. Good morning, and in Baltimore you have to respond. Good morning. Good morning, trustees. Good morning, Mr. Stockdale. Good morning, faculty, and all families of the graduates, and many, many friends. Good morning, class of 2016 of the Vivian Webb School. It is such an honor to be here to support you, the 33rd class of my Vivian Webb sisters. So, what I want you all to do is to close your eyes, and I want you to picture the scene. It's a warm, kind of like today, day in September of 1981. A cluster of 34 girls hovers on the threshold of Price Dining Hall. All the girls are about 14 or 15 years old. They range in height from less than 5 feet to just about 6. All of them have yet to fully grow into their skin. Many sport braces and glasses. And let's be honest, the braces they have on are not the cool, colorful ones of today, but are the speech-altering, radio-conducting Amtrak systems for the teenage mouth. Each of these girls rigorously adheres to the regulations of the recently published Preppy Handbook. Each sports a meticulously selected Talbot's cardigan, some monogrammed, draped over the shoulders of a pastel-colored Lacoste polo shirt, which is tucked into a high-waisted A-line skirt or pressed trousers. And this rubs against the cotton argyle socks that peek or really scream out of their Sperry topsiders. All are alike in an overwhelming mismatch of self-confidence and awkwardness. In the foyer of the dining hall, these girls stand before their Everest. As you picture yourself, picture this. Remember how you felt at the base camp of your first climb. So that extra cup of coffee you had this morning isn't sitting so well right now, is it? How did these girls get here? And indeed, how did I get here? Between February and May of 1981, 35 years ago, Vivian Webb School accepted 34 girls. These 34 girls would be its founding students. In the inaugural application materials, the first headmistress, Anne R. Longley, declared, quote, "It is our particular responsibility as educators of young women to instill in them the confidence to examine the opportunities now available to you and to choose the paths that will lead to personal fulfillment." And she went on to say, and remember this is in 1981, these women, quote, "must decide to devote their lives to their families or to their careers or to an integration of both. We want to endow our young women, quote, with the basic skills for living and with the assurance that they can make a significant contribution to society by enriching the lives of others." On September 11th, 1981, 34 young women, I among them, had the privilege and the responsibility of leading by example, of conducting ourselves with integrity, and, don't forget, of making a significant contribution to society by enriching the lives of others. Wow. Just wow. I mean, that's a lot for anybody, much less a gangly group of awkward young teenagers. I mean, my goodness, right? So 35 years later, and 35 years of conversations and friendships, I know that each of my fellow pioneers saw this as the ultimate opportunity, challenge, if at times we found it a little bit burdensome, and frankly, a lot of times it was really annoying. We had to conduct ourselves better than most others. After leaving Webb, each of us has taken on this challenge throughout our lives with intention, a sense of adventure, and sometimes a little bit of reluctance. And my favorite was when I asked one of my best friends about her recent birth, and she said, you know, after 3 births of 3 children, each time without the benefits of an epidural and the pain relief, I mean, what do I have tattooed on my forehead? I'm a pioneer? So I have deleted the expletive from that sentence. So as I pioneer my way through my own life, I spend a lot of time pondering Mrs. Longley's choices of family, career, or an integration of both. Are these really choices? Even as we ambitiously and continuously forge new ways ahead, I actually posit that what was to Mrs. Longley an or is now a both and. It is the expectation that women can and must do it all. So, you know what? I'm here today and I'm pretty darn excited about the fact that I clearly have hoodwinked a whole lot of people to believe that I actually do it all. So I'm the first woman director of the Walters Art Museum, an internationally renowned art museum that's also a $15 million business, and it's on a campus of 5 historic buildings. I am the mother, proud and honored mother of 12-year-old boy-girl twins, and I'm the wife of one of the truly great curators of his generation, who heads the drawings department at the Morgan Library in New York. And he was on the cover of the front page of the New York Times art section yesterday. So, you know what? Last year, the commencement speakers heard about how you had to do you. Well, I do me pretty darn well. So I'm certain that VWS is the secret in my sauce. I've always credited that moment of walking into the dining hall that first day as the moment it all became possible. And according to my acceptance letter, my recommenders thought that traits of leadership, a positive attitude, and a high sense of integrity were what made me the perfect fit for a nascent Vivian Webb. What I didn't know then, and I do know on the eve of the Big 5-0, that leadership and integrity are merely the byproducts of what is the most important quality of all, a positive attitude. Good morning. My name is Julia Marciari-Alexander, and I am a Pollyanna. To be precise, I identify as an excessively optimistic and cheerful person. So, class of 16, listen to me as I, Pollyanna, impart some really important wisdom to you. And I say this in my most cheery voice. We cannot do it all. We really, really can't. And you know what? We shouldn't. I am exhausted. I can't answer all my emails. I open my mail weekly at best. I pretty much never listen to my voicemails, Mom. And even at work, I can't get my work done in a timely fashion because I'm out late and up early for my job, which I love. I struggle every single day to be the best parent to my fantastic creative son, whose severe ADHD makes his every day his own personal Grand Canyon. Oh, and did I mention that we discovered just this year that my son has been deaf in one ear for the past 3 years. So yes, we get the Parents of the Year award. For all of you Gilmore Girls fans out there, I struggle, even with an overdose of coffee in my hand at all times, to be the Lorelei to my Rory. And I really, really, really struggle to be okay with saying a supportive, "Have a good week," to my husband every morning as he gets up at 5:37 a.m. on a Monday to leave for New York until Friday. So in the face of my reality, It is my inner Pollyanna, coupled with my deepest Amy Schumer, that sustains me as I climb my mountain each day. Positive attitude, topped off with a daily dose of humor, is more than the coffee, that which helps me transform that struggle to succeed. On the one hand, I salute with my whole being the women and men of Webb, who more than any others besides my beloved parents and family have made it possible for me to seem that I can do it all. On the other hand, Vivian Webb School class of 2016, I charge you with the task of demanding and implementing a different paradigm. Yours is the DNA of those who crossed the threshold of Christ's dining hall to change that Webb experience from one that was exclusively male to one that is both co-ed and single gender. Yours is the DNA of those who carved out a unique piece for themselves and a place for themselves in the world of women as Webb women. Yours, therefore, is the DNA that enables you together to create a world in which our daughters do not have to live the impossible lives that your mothers, aunts, and older sisters have had to live. Like it or not, we as women still have to be better. We still have to juggle more, and we still have to negotiate harder than our male peers. I charge you to drive more change than we have in the past 30 years. And here are a few things that you must do, and I know this from personal experience, to craft a better but really sustainable work-life balance. You must demand hiring practices and policies that allow for a reality of a couple in which both partners work. And yes, some of you will want to live in the same town as your partner who has the same career. I require you to demand that parental leave be one, leave, and not just work with your phone in hand and baby in the other. 2, equal for both parents in duration. And 3, paid leave. And finally, I demand that you require that not only our daughters, but also our sons be resilient, thoughtful, daring, and tolerant. So, let's now close our eyes and imagine ourselves in the shoes of those prepster pioneers in 1981. As we wade together out into the sea of young men, we each know in our hearts that we are on time to this lunch period, but we are super late to the meal. In this land, hitherto barren of our kind, ours is the task of seeding a new ecological cycle into place by joining with our male peers to create a new Webb experience. Now open your eyes. It's not 1981, but it's 2016, and we have done a terrific job. Not only are we now at the same meal, but we together have made this a feast. So as I'm near the end of my talk, I want especially to give a shout out to Christina Mercer McGinley, class of 1984. Will you stand up, please? Christina Mercer McGinley is one of my very best friends and one of the original 34, as you can imagine. She was in the first graduating class and the first Vivian Webb graduate to earn her PhD. She was the first Vivian Webb alum to become a Webb trustee. Mercer, as we called her in our day, and still do, was also the first of the original 34 to have a daughter who came to Vivian Webb School. And that daughter, Corey, is graduating today. So now can I ask all Vivian Webb alums in the audience to stand, please? I know there are some of you out there. I know there are. There you go. Tremendous graduates. of 2016. Look with gratitude and admiration, as I do, at these amazing women who have climbed so many half domes, both for themselves and for you. And remember these women as you climb your next mountain, but never fail to remind yourselves that now it is your job to make our daughters and our sons strong.